Hello everybody and welcome along to the second event of the weekend for the Porsche Carrera Cup North America, presented by Visit Cayman Islands. Good to have your company. I'm John Heindorf and we are ready to go again after a dominating performance yesterday by Trenton Estep. We reset with a grid set by the second fastest laps of the qualifying session on the early part of the weekend. And here's how they'll line up. So we started with 17 cars this weekend, but after a couple of incidents, we saw TJ Fisher's top car not making it to the streets of Toronto for the race yesterday. He, I'm afraid, hasn't been able to take place, and Adam Adelson getting a 2-race probation. Michael McCarthy also not making it to the race yesterday. So we'll have 15 cars around the circuits, which has 11 corners and is just over 1 3/4 miles around. Options for overtaking at turn 1, turn 3 and turn 8, and it'll be Alan Metley who'll start, it'll be John Gutz, sorry, who starts at the back of the grid in 15th position for Wright Motorsports. Kyle Washington in 14th position for GMG Racing. Thomas Collingwood for BGB Motorsports in 13th position. Then Bill Smith for Top Racing. He ended up in the tyres yesterday, but still got second place in the AM class. He's the AM pole sitter, trying to close down on Mark Kwame, who didn't come north of the border. He's the championship leader for AM coming into this weekend. In 11th position is Alan Metney. He was the Pro-Am leader coming into this weekend. Started from the back of the grid yesterday, fought his way through back to the podium. And alongside him will be Marco Cironi, another Pro-Am driver for Mark Motors Racing in the bright yellow and black number 84. On row 4, it's Efren Castro and Adam Adelson. Adelson in the 24 car is one of the pro racers for Premier Racing. Efren Castro is in the 8th position and is the Pro-Am leader after the race yesterday closed down on Alan Metney in the championship standings. On row 3, Travis Wiley on the outside for Top Racing, Varan Chopsky on the inside for Wright Motorsport, 13 and 77. Jeff Kingsley in 5th position in the number 43 for MDK Motorsports has Riley Dickinson in the second of the Kelly Moss Racing cars at the front of the grid, the 53 car with the bright orange striping around the front end of that car to tell it apart from its teammate. Parker Thompson in 3rd position on the grid for JDX Racing, and on the front row it is Kai van Berlo on the outside of the front row as he was yesterday, and MDK Motorsports Trenton Estep with the second pole of the weekend. He will lead the cars to green. That's how they'll line up for today. So Trenton Estep yesterday becoming the first American driver to win a round of the Porsche Carrera Cup North America, presented by Visit Cayman Islands. Taken a year and a half for some homegrown talent to get to the top step of the box, and he'll be trying to get to repeat that today. See the flag man wave out the 2 safety cars, so we've got the flat sixes running in the background, and leading them out it is Trenton Estep, yesterday's winner in the MDK Motorsports car from Kai van Berlo. He'll be alongside him in the number 3 for Kelly Moss Road and Race. JDX is Parker Thompson in the very distinctive shell coloured car, the number 9 from Red Deer, Alberta. Riley Dickinson will be alongside him in the 53, the white with the green stripe, the twin car to the number 3 on the front row. Then it's Jeff Kingsley from down in Ajax here in Toronto. Then Varan Chopsky, who put up a great fight yesterday to hold on to a top 5 position. Travis Wiley, Efren Castro, Adam Adelson and Marco Cironi for the top 10. And then behind then, Alan Metney, Bill Smith leads the AM category, Thomas Collingwood, Kyle at Washington and John Getz. Just waiting to hear from race control whether we shorten this race. We have lost a bit of time. It wouldn't surprise me that this goes down to 35 or even 30 minutes. But at the moment, on the timing screen, it does say at 40 minutes. I don't think we're going to get very much more than one formation lap. It was turn 6, by the way, the accident in the last race. And a great job by everybody concerned to get that cleared up and those cars moved. Just coming up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a rolling start, 2 by 2. Estep from Perlo on the front row, Parker Thompson from Riley Dickinson. Can Trenton Estep back up his win from yesterday when he became the first American driver to stand on the top step? He goes early, then has to back up again to allow Kai van Berlo to get alongside him. Van Berlo slightly ahead of the pole sitter at the moment. They'll need to line themselves back up again. Here comes Van Berlo around the outside. Green flag in hand. 40 minutes still showing on the clock. It's a pretty good lineup, 2 by 2, as they come on to Princess Boulevard. And we are racing. Second event of the weekend for Porsche Carrera Cup North America, presented by Visit Cayman Islands here on the streets of Toronto. And again, it is Parker Thompson in what was the third place car who gets the best start. This is a carbon copy of yesterday. Now Parker overshot at turn 3 yesterday, but to be honest, Estep's not giving him the chance to get down the inside. Then it's the two Kelly Moss cars, and a big lock up by Marco Chironi. He's hit someone. There was fluid coming out the front of that car. That's a disaster from Chironi, the man on home ground in the 84. And also Riley Dickinson, by the way, was ahead of his teammate there as they went into turn 3. The red piping on the front of that car is the way to tell those two apart. Yep, that's the 53 in third position. Chironi off the circuit at turn 3 in the runoff, but I think he's in a safe enough place that we can actually continue. And it looks to me as though we've cut this race down to 20... maybe 25 minutes. We're already down to 23. And also off at turn 3, the Apex Capital number 77 of Travis Wiley. That's one of the top racing cars. Already lost TJ Fisher early in the weekend after an accident. Not of his making, I should say. Adam Adelsson running into him. Quite a big shunt that took them out of that session. Full course yellow. We'll see the safety car. And Trenton Estep has done the first job, got away from pole position and established himself at the front of the field. It is the 77 that's brought that out, because I think Chironi's behind the wall there at turn 3, straight on Lakeshore Boulevard. And there's a split there onto the other side of the carriageway so that there's a safe area. So Porsche Carrera Cup North America, presented by Visit Cayman Islands. Race 2 here under full course yellow for round 10 of the season. Travis Wiley not be happy. I wonder if there was contact between him and Chironi. Can't see the right hand side of the car. Chironi went straight on, but I'm pretty certain that I saw some fluid from the left front of that car. There are radiators, coolers in front of both the wheels on these Cup cars, and if you get any substantial impact on the front corners, it tends to give them a problem. We've got the Tag Heuer Porsche 911 as our safety car. Had the Taycan yesterday. Tag Heuer for the first time this weekend presented the Tag Heuer Pole Award to Trenton Estep. First time we've seen that premium watchmaker involved in that way, although Heuer and Tag Heuer, very long time partners with Porsche, and of course brought the Tag Heuer Carrera name back into their range in the last 18 months, 2 years. And if you know anything about racing and watches, you'll know of the significance of the Heuer Monaco, the first ever fully waterproof square-faced chronograph made famous by Steve McQueen in the movie Le Mans. Jack Heuer, the man whose name is on the company, huge motorsport fan. And the Carrera name, honouring the great road race, the Carrera Panamericana, and Porsche, of course, using the Carrera name on their cars for many years. 911 Carrera, and then the model, whether it be Carrera S or Carrera GTS. So race neutralised, and already under 20 minutes to go, time being lost, not through any actions of any of the drivers here in this event, but from the clean-up from the previous race. We have a pretty tight time schedule, of course, with the NTT Indy cars due out later on this afternoon, and I'm sure their network TV won't want to be delayed. So no choice but for race control to cut this race back. Now, how quickly can they get Travis Wiley's car pulled out of the way? Only needs to go into that runoff area and behind the concrete barriers to drivers left. So with a bit of luck, we might get that going. Well, the good news is it's rolled backwards, so the transmission isn't locked, and the Apex Capital GT Silver car has just about got enough lock on it to go through. Nice job by the AMR safety team as they escort the car out of harm's way. Now they reposition their safety truck, and we'll keep an eye on the lights of the Tag Heuer safety car, Porsche 911. So Trenton Estep hasn't had to do much other than get away from the start and hold on to his position. Once again, the best start being made by Parker Thompson, who came from third through into second place. Safety car lights are out. Excellent stuff. Race control wanting to get these cars back to green as quickly as possible. Nice job by everybody out on the circuit at turn 3. So Parker Thompson, can he get the same kind of start? He was behind Trenton Estep in the 2x2 start. He's going to be right behind him as we start single file and go back to green. With just on 17 minutes remaining, the field now comes under the control of Trenton Estep. Safety car is in the lane, so now it's up to Trenton to control the field. Can't start and stop here, got to keep a reasonable pace through the final corners. Now comes through the sweep of turn 11 and the left-hander that leads onto Princess Boulevard. We're back to green, 16.5 minutes to go. Thompson does not get a good restart, and he had to defend just a little bit there from Riley Dickinson. Kai van Berlo in 4th, in 5th. It's Varun Chotski in the red, white and black number 13 car. Then Jeff Kingsley for MDK. Efren Castro leads Pro-Am in the purple and black car as he heads down Lakeshore Boulevard. Under a little bit of pressure from Adam Adelson, Premier Racing's number 7 car. That's the silver car with silver on the front and bright yellow and about every other colour of the rainbow on that one. And a red on it as well. Then the all-silver car behind Adelson is Alan Metney. He's up in a 2nd in the Pro-Am. So championship contenders finding their way to the front. Estep with a handy little lead, around about half a second, but at least it means he hasn't got to compromise his lines into the corners. Coming down to 15 minutes in this short race after the incident in the previous session. Estep across the line then to complete lap 5, 1:12.8 from Estep. Expect them to go a little bit quicker than that. We're in the mid-11s yesterday, but the car's of course fueled for 40 minutes of running, so they're not going to be at their peak at the moment. And into the pit lane for John Getz for Wright Motorsport. Now, he did this yesterday. He can't be any worse than second in AM, and that's going to be good enough. As 43, oh dear me, that's Jeff Kingsley has gone wide in the MDK car, but he has found reverse in his sequential gearbox and gets it pointing in the right direction again. John Getz for Wright Motorsport, 57, can't be any worse than second. He's gone into the pits, and if you remember when we were running down the championship results, I told you that Mark Kwame, who leads that championship, is not here this weekend, and John had moved within a second place finish of him. In fact, I reckon he'll take over the lead now just by starting the race and getting the second place points. So it'll be game on when we come back together at Road America for the next 2 rounds of the race. So effectively 2 non-finishes here. In fact, 2 non-starts by Kwame, so he'll get no points at all for this weekend. So John Getz playing the numbers game here for Wright Motorsports, not risking the car out on the circuit, where we have just on 13.5 minutes to go. A 12.4 last time round brings the fastest lap time down a wee bit more for Trenton Estep. Remember, there's points for that as well. 1:12.5 for Parker Thompson. Everybody lighting up with green lap times, meaning their personal bets. Efren Castro has the fast lap time in Pro-Am. He's in 6th overall in the 65, the purple and black car. And he's got Adam Adelson between himself and second position in class, Alametti. That's good news for him. Bill Smith then for top racing in the bright orange number 42, the Kung Fu Saloon car. Sits in a very creditable 9th position overall, and John gets in the pit lane. So Bill, with no competition in terms of out on track, is able to just enjoy himself and mix it up with the Pro-Am and the Pro guys out there, which Bill will do. A repeat of yesterday for Trenton Estep, who stretched away to 2.1 seconds, and the battle is for the remaining steps on the podium. Second place currently held by Parker Thompson, the man from Red Deer, Alberta, in the JDX Porsche Shell top-up car, excuse me. He's got a bit of company now, because within striking distance is the 53, the first of the 2 white and green Kenny Moss racing cars. It's Parker Dickinson, excuse me, Riley Dickinson. Riley just tracking through the last couple of corners. Can he get the exit of the final left-hander onto Princess Boulevard? Right, he's got a good run. Tries to get a little bit of the draft as they gently ease over to the left-hand side of the road before the right-hander at turn 1. Then a little squirt through turn 2, which just leads them on to Lakeshore Boulevard. Again, an opportunity here, maybe, to get the draft. Thompson's done enough. He's driving in the middle of the road, coming into turn 3. That will affect his exit. But it's so tight and such a short application on the throttle there down into turns 4 and 5. But a change of elevation there as well. You think the street circuits has been absolutely flat, not necessarily billiard table smooth, and certainly it isn't here. But there are 1 or 2 changes in camber which can catch out the unwary. Parker Thompson almost clipping the left-hand wall there as he turns through 7 and into 8. left-hand rear of his car very perilously close to the concrete. Dickinson right there if he does make a mistake. Estep across the line. 10.5 minutes to go. Another fastest lap for him. 1:11.7 for the leader. Didn't get the fastest lap yesterday, so didn't quite get the trifecta of Paul fastest lap and win, but Paul and win was good points haul for Trenton, and at the moment he'll be delighted. His team will be talking to him on the radio, saying the battle is raging behind you. Just hit your marks, focus forwards, 10 minutes left. That's all Trenton has to do. It sounds really easy here from our broadcast centre. Sitting in the heat of that car, remember they were sitting there for nearly 15 minutes, over 15 minutes from when they expected to move. With no airflow through the car, with 3-layer fireproof clothing, plus the fireproof underwear, plus the helmet and the hands device, and the wraparound seats. Quite claustrophobic in a race car when you're not doing anything. Great run from third place for Riley Dickinson. Was almost kissing the back bumper of Parker Thompson and the Shell top-up car as he came through turns 8 and 9. This is the best chance, and Parker knows it. He's gone to the right-hand side of the track defend. Can we get the old over and under? No, he parks it on the apex of turn 1. And now the opportunity for Kai van Berlo to go past both of them. Goes to the left-hand side of Lakeshore Boulevard to start with. 3 of them now drafting down the back straight. Thompson is going to have to stay to the right-hand side. Van Berlo slips to the left-hand side of the circuit, trying to get the more traditional racing line. That gives him the opportunity to put the throttle on earlier, therefore trying to build up speed earlier through this Nanchi section. 4, 5 and 6. Definitely a little touch into turn 1 as Parker just parked it on the apex. Smart driving by Parker, held on to second place. Back to the same part of the circuit now. Thompson, Dickinson and Kai van Berlo. Red, yellow and white car is in second place. Then the 2 white and green cars, third and fourth. Team mates, but no team orders. You're racing for yourself in this championship. And Dickinson will be desperately trying to get the points to close up to the top of the championship. Back through turn 2 again, and Estep is pulling away. It's 4.5 seconds now with just under 8 minutes to go. That's going to be round about 6 laps, maybe. Only 5 actually, it'll depend when Estep crosses the line. If there's less than a minute and 11, a minute and 12 when Estep comes to the line, we'll get one more. We'll get the white flag. If not, we'll get one more. Real pressure though on Parker Thompson. Started his career in the open wheel ranks, transitioned into GT a couple of seasons ago. Had a little bit of a go a few seasons before that, but didn't really commit to it. And has admitted he thought that was maybe a mistake. Should have taken it a wee bit more seriously. And he's come back and really thrown himself into this championship. And it's really paying dividends for him. Has to defend again into turn 1. Van Berlo, championship leader, the third of the 3 cars battling through turn number 2 now. Trying to get a run on his teammate, but really important that he gets points. 4th place points here for that green and white. At number 3 is not the worst outcome after second yesterday. Dickinson is thinking about it down into turn 3, but can't make it happen. Turn 5. Ripping up a little bit, it would seem, here today on the final day of competition. Various different championships, various different tyre manufacturers. But it does seem that the Michelin compounds work well with the IndyCar compounds. We've seen that with joint events between IndyCar and Michelin on the streets of Long Beach. Some of our racing at St. Pete's as well, and in previous years at Mid-Ohio. It does seem to work. Estep's gone. Estep has checked out. Now 5.5 seconds. It looks like a double for MDK Motorsports, and a great championship push for Trenton Estep as we head into the second half of the season. He's halfway down Lakeshore Boulevard before Parker Thompson, Riley Dickinson and Kai van Berlo appear. And this time, Thompson should be able to take the normal racing line. He doesn't have to defend. Dickinson didn't get the run off turn 2. 5 minutes to go in this shortened event. The 10th round of the season, the second of the weekend, here on the streets of Toronto. Intense pressure for Parker Thompson. At the moment, he is withstanding it. If anything, he's in a slightly better place as Dickinson gets a real slide on coming through turn 8. Just had to correct it. A little counter steer, a little bit of opposite lock there as he was drifting towards the wall. Don't think he lifted up very much, mind you. Felt like he was in control. He's got a good car under him. It was 5.6 seconds the last time around. The gap between this battling trio and the leader Trenton Estep. As they come around this time, it's gone out even a little bit further. Thompson, though, is in a lovely rhythm, particularly in the early part of the lap. Maran Choksi is in 5th position. And the 13, the red, white and black car, might actually be closing down on the battling trio for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Then Efren Castro is leading further back down the field. Bill Smith and the number 69 of Thomas Collingwood having a cracking scrap as they came round the final corner last time around, and Collingwood fighting and holding on to 10th position. They're in different categories. Pro-Am for the GT Silver number 69, the bright orange car. Bill Smith is the AM leader for Top Racing. Then it's Kyle Washington in the blue and yellow car. It's the GMG racing machine. He's in 12th. John Getz in the pits. 3 and a bit minutes to go. I have to keep an eye on Maran Choksi here. I do think he's catching up on this battle for the final 2 podium positions. He's really timed this nicely. It's under 4 seconds here. It may be just a little bit too much to ask, and he'll be cursing the fact that this race was shortened. He's in clear air at the moment. He can take all of the optimum racing lines, which is exactly what he's doing down into turn 3 in that ADR number 13 car. Lovely colour scheme on that machine. Very traditional, very simple. Shows off the lines of the wide-body 992 Carrera Cup car very well indeed. Thompson, for the moment, has eked out a tiny bit of a lead. What is he? Maybe half a second, 7/10 away from the battling teammates. But at the important part of the circuit, that's 3 or 4 Porsche 911's lengths between them. It'll be white flag next time around, not this time, just on 2 minutes to go. So we will see the white flag next time around, or at least Trenton Estep will. Now, what is going to go on with the 2 Kelly Moss teammates? Kai van Berlo would like to be on the podium to hold his championship advantage. But by the same token, he doesn't want to end his race in the concrete, and certainly doesn't want to do it at the expense of his teammate. That would be a very awkward conversation after the race in the team hauler. Hard to say whether either of those 2 cars had an advantage on the other. I think Dickinson is just slightly compromising his racing lines. He's not quite getting back to Parker Thompson. Maybe he just set up his car slightly differently for the early part of the race. Meantime, across the line, and the white flag for 1 more lap to go. 2.8 kilometres, 1.75 miles. Thompson in second, his breathing room, does not have to defend into turn 1. he'll be thinking about all the potential overtaking manoeuvres that can be made. Turn 3 is the next one. Does he have to defend? I don't think he does. He can stay on the racing line. Efren Castro in the purple and black car crosses the line. He's in 6th overall. He'll be delighted with that. He's got some pro cars behind him, and he leads in Pro-Am. The 2 Kelly Moss cars battling it out as Van Berlo once again goes all the way at the left-hand wall before he turned into turn 3. Now at 5. He's not quite on the bumper of his teammate, but he's not far away. Thompson really only has to worry now about turn 9, and I think he's going to be okay for second. Trenton Estep way up the road. He's coming into the final set of corners now, and it will be the double on the streets of Toronto. Rounds 9 and now 10 of the 2022 Porsche Carrera Cup North America, presented by Visit Cayman Islands, have gone the way of Trenton Estep. He's the first American driver to win a round of this championship, and he's doubled up this weekend in real style, absolutely dominated. And he's got the full set in this race with pole, fastest lap and the win. So a full house of points, 28 points for him this weekend. Castro comes through to double up in the Pro-Am category, and that will close the gap on Alan Metney just a wee bit, but Alan's going to come through in second place in the iFly number 99, the all-silver car. And it'll be Bill Smith for top racing in the bright orange number 42, who takes top points and the fastest lap for top racing in the AM category. But John Gertz, who's played a canny game this weekend, John for Wright Motorsports with 40 points, and with his class leader Mark Kawami not being here this weekend, John Getz will go to 179 points against Mark Kawami's 172. So he'll take the AM Class Championship lead to Road America, which is the next place that we'll see these cars stretching their legs on the just over 4-mile circuit. So from one of the shortest events in terms of track length of our season to the very longest. And what a weekend it's been. What a trip north of the border for Trenton Estep and for MDK Motorsports. Came here in 4th place in the championship, and will have closed the gap on Riley Dickinson in 3rd. It's about on as even on the points haul between Dickinson and Thompson, with them both taking a 2nd and a 3rd this weekend. Kai van Berlo with a 3rd, with a 4th today and a 2nd yesterday, will hold his lead at the top of the championship. But down to victory lane for MDK Motorsports, and Trenton Estep sweeps the weekend as far as the top step of the podium, and sweeps this race, having taken pole, fastest lap and the race victory. 28 points to MDK Motorsports and to Trenton Estep. Boston again from the beginning. Once again, Parker Thompson got the best of the starts, claimed 2nd position. This time he held on to it. Marco Cironi with problems at turn 3. And for Jeff Kingsley as well. Decent battle at the bottom of the top 10 for Bill Smith and Thomas Collingwood, but there was no stopping MDK Motorsports and Trenton Estep 2 for 2 in Toronto. We'll see you at Road America